This is Christina, and today I'm going to be helping you navigate a great website called StoryBird. So if you go to storybird.com, so if you haven't heard of this website, it's a great website where kids can actually create stories or create ebooks, and you can share them publicly with any user of the website, or you can share it privately, and you as a teacher can actually see what they create and they can turn it into you. So I'm just going to sign in right here very quickly. Now it is a free website, which is great because it does promote creativity. It promotes writing and also reading, obviously, since we're creating books and their classmates can read it. So once you log in, you get to this page here, your dashboard. And so here you can add multiple classes. So I have two classes, 27 and 28. You add your students here. So to add a student, you have to create a username. So I normally create it for them just so that we don't waste time in them trying to come up with their own. And normally it just goes with whatever username they use at school to log into their Chromebooks and stuff. And then you have a first and last name and then parent contact. Now my school gives them an actual email that they can use, and that's what they use in Google or clever.com. So I usually just put their email instead of the parent contact, but if you don't have a school email for the students, then you can most definitely get your parents involved as well and put in their parent email. Now, I know not all parents have one, so that's why I use the students' school email that they have. So, like I mentioned, StoryBird is a website where you create stories, or create books. And so if you go here to create, you always start off with art. So what they call art, and it's pretty much just an image. So whatever image talks to the topic that the student's going to be writing, they can just pick that image. They have tons of arts here, and they can pick on any of them. So the way they select one is by clicking this little lightning here, and then you get to choose which type of writing you're going to do. You can do a long form book, you can do a picture book, and you can do a poem. So a long form book is a book with multiple chapters. So I'm just going to click on this one here for now and click on long form book. And as you can see, it's pretty, just one page. Now the creating the workshop here, it doesn't look too intimidating for the students. You get to move the pictures here. If you want to change the picture and preview one of the pictures, you just click on it. Sorry, my computer's kind of slow. So when you click on it, it makes it bigger. Let's say that you want to change it to this one. You just drag it into your to the book, and it creates the image for you. Now you add a title. I'm going to, just for the sake of it, I'm just going to put example 1. And then this is chapter 1. So if I just go down right here, I'm going to put the start. Okay, and then you start writing here. Now, you can insert more pictures. Once your students have written their paragraph, then they can add another artwork down here. Now, again, the website puts one in for you, but the students are more than happy or more than welcome to change it. There's no restrictions into the art that they choose. They can also insert a divider. So they're ready to change topics, or it's a new day, or whatever their story takes them to, they can add a divider. And when it's time to create a new chapter, this will pop up first. So you cannot create a new chapter if you haven't published your first chapter, which again, it kind of helps the students know about the writing process and how the story works. You can't really move on in the story until you finish one. So then we will publish this. And like I mentioned, you have the option to publish it privately, which you can share a link to your story with friends and family, but it won't be visible on StoryBird. So it won't be really visible to the users using here on StoryBird. So, or you can do it publicly, and that's all schools can see it, all pretty much any user could see it. So I'm just going to keep it private since it's not really a story. And this is just the first chapter of a new book, so I'm just going to put this one in. Now, if it was the second chapter or anything, then I would just add the only chapter. Well, it's not the only chapter, but if it was the second chapter, so I would put a part of a book that I already have, or if it's the last chapter of the book, that way you can publish everything. So then your kids can get to decide, do you want it for room 27, 28? So I'm just going to keep it on 27. You can add a chapter note here. So just a little bit about the chapter. See, it's optional, so the students don't have to do that. And then this part I always make my students do it. It's a summary. So again, it gets them thinking about, even though they wrote it, they still should be able to summarize their chapter. And then you get to publish, and voila, you have a book. You have your first chapter. And it's just right here. And again, any of your students can read it. Now, we don't have multiple chapters, so our table of contents is going to look very small because we only have one chapter right here. But if you have multiple chapters, then it will be a list running here, and then you just click on the chapter and you get to go. Okay. The next thing that your students can create, it's not just a chapter book, but let's say that you want them to create a picture book. And so, winter's coming. So let's click on this one and let's do the picture book. So once you do a picture book, and you notice how your workshop here looks a little different. So you have this little banner at the bottom that it would help you navigate through your pages. So this is a cover, and as you can see, there's different layouts. You can do it like this, but it cuts your image, so it's up to you if you want to cut it or not. If you don't like that cover image, you can always change it to another one. Okay, change the colors down here. I like that one. Let's go with that one. Oh no, wait, the blue one. Yeah, that one. So students can play with it. So this is our title page. So I'm just gonna put here title page. And then you go here to page 1. And here's where the story begins. Story begins. And the students can write, as you can see, they have a big space to write, so they can write a big space. Now, it is a picture book, so book means multiple pages. So then you just click on this little plus sign and you add a page. Then you can just add a different image. You can have it on the left side, you can have it on the right side, or you can have it to cover the whole page. Okay, when you are done, same thing, it is time to publish it. So then you come here, it's exactly the same thing. So you want to publish it privately, or if your story is not completed yet, you can always put it's not finished, and it will save it as a draft. So then we go back to the dashboard, and here they are. So you notice here, title page, this is a draft. It doesn't say publish, so this one says publish. This one I didn't get to finish it. You can always erase as well. So if you can click on it, you can always erase or go back to editing. So this one here, go back to edit my story, and I can always revisit any projects that I had going on already. Okay, so let's exit again. Okay, and you can always delete it here. Let's delete this one. All right, so the next thing you can create here are poems. So, that one seems fun. You just create, again, any art that you like, poem, and now if you see, it looks, again, completely different. So you have words here, so you can just choose any words you want, and then you can just click on it and drag it here. I am gray. Okay. I am gray. see, you can just click on it here. Okay, you can change the color down here. So you get to really play with it. Okay, you just drag the words, and again, menu, you can publish or exit. So let's exit here. Exit without publishing, yes. Okay, so if we go to Studio, you will see here all of your work. Okay, now obviously I don't have any students, so it gives me to upload or to add any students. If you go to the library, it'll show you which ones you have published. And then you have your assignments here. Now, what are the assignments? Now, for the assignments, you can actually assign work here and what they call challenges. And so what that is you click on this one. So your first poem. And you read what the directions are. Okay, and if you're assigning it to different students, you can assign it to a whole class. You assign to the class, and you choose which one. Now I have assigned it to both classes. And so the students have to read the instructions here, and then they get to publish their poem going with whatever the instructions tell them to do. Okay? So that's really cool. There's no entries here. If not, you'll be able to read other people's entries for the challenge. Okay, there are actually many challenges. Here we go. Start with a challenge. So there are many challenges you can choose from, depending on whatever unit you are on in your class. Okay. And then we have the how-to guides. So here it is, how to write. Okay, so this is how to write electric endings, lyric poems. So these are books that your students can read through. How to write a lyric poem. Oh. So pretty much that's, your students can get a little bit extra help, how to write a list poem. So we're actually going into poetry, so this is great. So this is just a little extra help that your students can receive aside from your lessons. And then you can read. So you can read stories from other users. These are the stories that other users have published publicly. So then these are all the stories you can read. Okay, Fishing for Fallen Stars. This one, as you can see, it's a long form poem. This is just chapter 1. Let's keep going down. Well, look at that, chapter 2. Let's click on chapter 2. And here it is. And so your students can then read through other people's work. And not only that, but look at this. You get to comment. So you can comment on their work. And what the neat thing about that is that your students can actually give each other feedback. So then talk about peer editing. And the last thing on here is courses. So courses here are pretty much just videos on how to do different things. Video games, graphic novels, and how to write different topics. And so that's StoryBird. And I will be logging out now, and that will be the end. Thanks for watching.